Good evening, beautiful people, and welcome to the Professional Fan. I am the Professional Fan, Professional Mike, and as always, joined by my co-host, Professional Molly. Molly, say hi. She says hi. Um, this evening, we are going to be going into the tight ends of this draft. But if you're just joining us, just coming in, please like, subscribe, and share this content. It helps the show out a lot. If you're into free agent acquisitions and draft analysis, you are in the right place. And this evening, we're going to go into tight ends. Tight end, in my opinion, in this draft is the second deepest class. Might maybe tied for second in this draft. It might be tied with defensive ends, but this class has, I'd say, probably 7 to 10 good starting caliber tight ends. Now, most of the guys I'm going to go over today, some might be names you've heard of, some might be a little bit more obscure. I will say I'm not going to be covering 2 tight ends that are going to be going in the first round at the top, just because Tyler Warren, my tight end one, I think everybody pretty much knows he's a top 20 pick. He's excellent. He legitimately did everything for that Penn State offense. So on top of that, we're also going to be not going over Colston Loveland, who again, probably a top 20, 25 pick, even though he was hurt. So we are going to be going into the tight ends. And the first gentleman I want to talk about is somebody that is becoming a little bit more well-known among draft boards. The first guy I want to talk about is somebody who could, and I say that with a grain of salt, could end up being tight end 1 in this class if he develops appropriately. I'm talking about Harold Fannin Jr. Harold Fannin Jr. is he's from Canton, Ohio, Browns fan, so he's a local. Is a junior in college. He had 117 receptions this year, 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns with an average of 13.3 yards per catch. Now, take that all with a grain of salt. He plays at Bowling Green, which, if you're not into college football, is the MAC. It's a weaker conference. But those numbers, his yards after the catch, and just his absolute dominance on the field can't be ignored, even playing at a smaller conference like that. So we're just going to get right into it. So let me share my screen for you real quick. Let's see. There's that gentleman. I'm going to show you a little nice highlight reel. If it'll load. All right, cool. All right, let's begin. There we go, beautiful. So, little quick wheel route, gets open. But first thing you'll probably notice about Harold Fannin is that's him right there in big number 0. He's a big boy. Harold Fannin is 6'4", 230. He's excellent in the run and in the pass, so he's kind of almost like a Darnell Washington prototype, except he is just better all around, a better athlete, better in the pass. There you see him, just absolute bring that in with a pass he had no business catching. He's just so good all around. Excellent hands, super athletic for his size. Just look at the separation he gets on the safety. Acrobatic catch. He's kind of, and funnily enough, he reminds me a little bit of David Njoku. If David Njoku a little bit more refined as a pass catcher in college. He's just an excellent athlete. He was the only offensive weapon worth half a damn on this Bowling Green team. And everybody knew that. Every opponent knew that, and they still couldn't stop him. He's just a freak of nature. Oh, I've seen this. That's a good play. Good yards after the catch. Does a little bit of move. Picks up a couple extra yards. A little saunter. He sauntered. There you see it again from a better angle. And this is against A&M. Nice little double move. Touchdown. He is freakishly athletic for his size. And it has just excellent hands. See, I would not be surprised after the combine and as the draft rolls around that Harold Fannin Jr. works his way into the first round, but I certainly hope he doesn't. Because I really want the Browns to pick him with the 33rd overall pick. The Browns have essentially the next best thing you could have to 2 first-round picks. We do have the 33rd overall pick. We need a tight end, and honestly, he's one of my favorite prospects. Here he is on a tight end screen. That guard kind of blew a block, but he was still able to find his seam and get the first down. Works the middle of the field well, which is exactly what a Kevin Stefanski or a West Coast style offense wants. Harold Fannin Jr. is the kind of player that I wouldn't be surprised ends up in any sort of West Coast style offense and just succeeds. Oh my goodness. He's just so good. So, and just put a little bit more fire on it, his last game that he had played, he had 17 receptions, 213 yards, and a touchdown. 213 yards in a game. That's not the only time he's done something like that. Absolute freak of nature at the tight end position. And he's a good blocker. He's everything you could want out of the position, and he would easily be a first-round pick if he didn't play in the MAC. Which is why I'm hoping he has just an okay combine. I mean, obviously, I want success for the kid, but he's so there at 33 for the Browns when the second round starts. If he's the first player off the board, I wouldn't be mad. I would be ecstatic, as a matter of fact. Especially with back to the 2 tight end sets. Oh, a Harold Fannin, David Njoku, and Jerry Jeudy pass catching combo. Excellent. Just good after yards after the catch. Knows how to run a bubble screen. You get the picture. And if you're a Browns fan, I hope you can envision the pick. Get back to my other screen here. Beautiful. Harold Fannin Jr. with a DB his senior year of high school at McKinley. He was first team All-Ohio, 106 tackles with 2 interceptions, 6 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and 2 defensive touchdowns. Wow. Yeah. And then he hit a growth spurt. Wait, no, that's his senior year of high school. Oh, okay. So he went to college, and they're like, "You ain't, you're 6'4". Sorry, friend, you ain't no DB. We're gonna reallocate you." But Harold Fannin Jr., one of my favorite prospects in this entire draft. He's like top 5 for me. The more I watch him, Goff another interception before the half, or Goff. Oh, I can read English. Yeah, and for those of you who are watching in the future, the reason why comment Goff another interception for the half, we are watching. Kind of have the divisional round of the NFC playoffs on, and the Lions are struggle busing pretty hard right now. Which, if you're not a Lions fan, great, and at least you'll get news on the Ben Johnson acquisition quicker if they lose. But Jaden Daniels is such a goddamn machine. It's so sad that the Browns couldn't get him. So sad. So that was Harold Fannin Jr. The next guy I want to talk about might be a little bit more obscure to Browns fans, but I think he could be a real possibility for the Browns in the 3rd round, or for any team for that matter in the 3rd round, if he's there. And that's Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor is a LSU product. He's also junior. He's a little bit taller, a little bit bigger than Harold Fannin even. He's 6'5", 255. He had 55 receptions this year, 550 yards, 2 touchdowns with an average of 9.9 yards per catch. And Mason Taylor is a little bit of a true tight end too. He's a little bit better as just a sheer run blocking tight end, but make no mistake, he's still a very good pass catcher. He won't be nearly as good as some guys for the top of the draft, but I know a lot of people that have him even as tight end 2 on their board, which is crazy. In this draft, tight end 2, crazy. But let's watch some of his highlights. Let's see what Sir Mason has got going. Apologies if I sound a little sinusy. I'm a little under the weather. All right, let's get in here. I probably should have made these all full screen for you guys before I... There we go. Beautiful. All right. Another Jaden Daniels right there. Mason Taylor just loves absorbing contact. The Nussy passes to Mason Taylor. By the way, Garrett Nussmeier is an extremely unfortunate last name in today's day and age. The one thing you'll notice about Mason Taylor is he's very, very good at finding soft spots and zone coverage, which is what you want to do with a tight end. He is excellent in the run game. Yeah, he just finds a soft spot in that Florida zone, able to like just drift off to the left, make a... And he's decent with guys I'll have on this list, but maybe isn't a slouch. He's not afraid of contact. No, he's a bowling ball out there. If I had to give any sort of like NFL comp, I'd say he's Foster Moreau. Really good against zone coverage. Not the greatest athlete in the world, so he's not going to be like a world beater if you go up against a team that plays a lot of man. But if you're running 2 tight end sets, if you're a West Coast offense, he's a guy that can get open. He's a guy that can lay down a block, and he'd be a great complement for any offense. Like like I said, my comp's Foster Moreau, who's an excellent tight end out of New Orleans. Their tape is very, very similar. Or even maybe Austin Hooper before like 2020 Austin Hooper. Yeah, you see him there. Really finding the soft spot in the zone. And that's where you're going to primarily use him. That's a big boy out there, though. A little bubble screen. He's not a slouch by any means. The Nussy passes to Mason Taylor, and he's good after he's good with Yak. Find some space, able to make the catch. He's got good hands. I think Mason Taylor is an easy early third round pick, late second round pick. We'll see if there's like a run on tight end. I kind of expect there to be, just with everything going on. Teams are less and less likely to draft for need anymore. And every time there's a run in a draft anymore, everybody wants to pick the player that they like just because they don't want to miss out. Everybody's so scared of missing out. Like Woodstock in the 60s, bro. You don't want to miss out on Woodstock. You'd be a nerd if you missed out on Woodstock. So that was Mason Taylor. The third guy I want to talk about is actually like one of my personal favorite guys, and that is Gunnar Helm. Gunnar Helm actually should be more or less a well-known name to most of you, especially if you've been watching the college football playoff. He's a senior, so we will see him at the Senior Bowl. He is I'd say he's probably one of two of my favorite players coming out of that Texas offense. He has 60 receptions this year, 786 yards, 7 touchdowns, so huge red zone threat with an average of 13.1 yards per catch. And he's 6'5", 250, and he's from Inglewood. Like John Cena, dude. Can't see him. He's invisible. So, Gunnar Helm. Let's check this brother out because he's pretty special. I know a lot of draft guys around the Cleveland area that I trust. Corey Kinnan, Jacob Roach, both of them are relatively high on him. And it's pretty easy to say why. These highlights have any of the college football playoff in them. I doubt it. But if so, you're going to see what we mean. Full screen again. There we go. There's Quinn Ewers, who also decided to declare for the draft for some reason. But great route runner. Hands. Gunnar Helm is probably the best all-around tight end outside of day one. Gunnar Helm is good in the run. He's good in the pass. Like I said, he's just a solid guy all around. He doesn't have like superstar-esque talent like somebody like a Tyler Warren or a Colston Loveland, but if you pick him, you have a pretty good starter. My comp for him coming out is Sam Laporta. A good do-everything tight end. Could make some splashes if he goes to like a really stacked team. Yeah, there he is. He's just so good at running routes. Really strong hands. And he's fast, too. I can't wait to see what he runs at the combine. Because his burst coming off of the line on a route is just crazy. Great field awareness. I mean, just look at his eyes. Just jumping over dudes. Little tight here. No slouch. Finds a seam, cuts. Picks up about 20 there. Against Michigan. Not afraid of contact. Yeah, him and Matthew Golden are my two favorite players coming out of Texas. Offensively, I should say. Because defensively, they have Andrew Makuba, and he's fantastic too. If I do a safeties video, you can hear my cat. She likes Gunnar Helm as well. She's a huge Gunnar Helm fan. She was so depressed when the Longhorns lost. Right, Marcy? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's my other cat. That's Travis. He's an Ohio State fan, so he's just waiting for Monday. He's lamenting. That's an excellent catch. That's a great rep from him. Contested, back shoulder. Just knows how to get open. Good at picking up those extra yards. Little flea flicker action. 3 dudes around him. Still catches it. Yeah, Gunnar Helm is special. There's from the college football playoff. Sent him home. Arizona State home crying. Again, bubble screen. Just so quick coming off of the line. That's a good rep. Keeps his eyes on his quarterback. Finds his open space and is able to make play. Gunnar Helm, believe it or not, is somebody I could see the Browns actually realistically picking. Specifically, if it was someone like this, like the Steelers or like the Bengals, I'm gonna be really upset because like he would be really good on one of those teams. So we're already 3 tight ends down. We only got 2 tight ends to go. Damn. Time flies when you're having fun. So the next guy I'm just going to talk about, again, if you watch the college football playoff, is somebody you might have seen, and somebody who's got like a lot of question marks about him. You know, he's got the height that you want to see and the size, but like he's got some question marks in the run game. I'm talking about Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. And the thing about Terrence Ferguson is, you know, it makes you question if he just wasn't that good of a blocker because of the run game or the run scheme in Oregon, which has never been that kind of running backs, or if it was just a personnel issue. Jordan James isn't exactly a world beater, even though I really like Jordan James. This year, Terrence Ferguson, tight end out of Oregon, had 43 receptions, 591 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 13.7 yards per catch. And I just lost my fire, so hold on. It's getting cold in here. Everybody in the comments start typing fire. Uh-oh. Beautiful. There it is. Pull the fire alarm. All right, so let's get into Terrence Ferguson. Share my screen again with you. Don't have it full screen again. Such a silly goose. Here we go. Beautiful. Thing of beauty. All right. You got Dylan Gabriel, little tight end screen. He's not super quick. He's got pretty good field vision. I'd be curious to see how he does in the combine. Good at finding open space. He's okay in the run, like I was saying. He likes to work the middle of the field, and that's the one thing that I think is really a kind of glowing star for him, if you will. Is Oregon runs a very similar offense to a lot of these NFL teams. It's like a watered down Kubiak offense. So I think Terrence Ferguson could like be plug and play for a lot of NFL offenses. Yeah, I mean, a lot of bubble screens, a lot of tight end screens, a lot of wheel routes into the middle of the field. I think he would work well in a lot of NFL offenses. I am a little bit worried about if you're drafting him to be a tight end 2 or even a tight end, just that he's a little ineffective in the run game. My comp for him, if I had to make one, is like Evan Ingram. Out of the Jags tight end. I just run game. He would be, I feel like, just kind of a certified pass catching tight end, which, you know, I mean, every team could need, but at the end of the day, if you're drafting him to be a tight end 2, you want him to be good in the run and just, you know, serviceable in the pass. And you want, you know, he's not athletic enough to be a tight end 1. But still, solid third round pick. Late third round, early fourth round grade I have on him so far. I think PFF and Pro Football have him ranked right around like the 103rd, 105th prospect, which makes sense. Oh, I forgot to tell you that. Let's backpedal. Harold Fannin Jr. is the 33rd overall ranked prospect to the 35th. Gunnar Helm is solidly at about the 68th to 71st. Mason Taylor is 75th to 78th, which is relatively high. And Ferguson, like I said, about 103, 105, depending on who you use. And again, if you're just joining us, please like, subscribe, and share. And I apologize for my sniffliness. A polar vortex is hitting us all. It's going to be colder than the surface of Mars in Chicago this weekend. Wild. Another reason why Chicago's the most beautiful city in America. I think it's going to be under ice. All right, so we have gone through 4 tight ends. The last one is like my guilty pleasure pick. And if the Browns don't decide to pick a tight end early, which I really, really, really hope they do, this is the guy I'd want them to pick. And it's a name for the rest of you guys to kind of look out for, just because he's anywhere, he's like floating on draft boards. He's anywhere from like at high, like the 121st pick to a low of like 170. So he's got a lot of sway. And I'm talking about Jake Brenningstool out of Clemson. So Jake, this year, had 49 catches, 530 yards, 7 tutties, for an average of 10.8 yards per catch. Solid numbers for a Clemson team that struggled this year. You know, Clemnick's still figuring it out. But Brenningstool, what I like about him, apologies, the highlights on this footage might be a little bit blurry. What I like about Brenningstool, though, is he's very fast off the line. He's got excellent hands. And he's very good at contested catches. That isn't the first time he's done that. I don't know if we'll see more in the highlights. Yeah, there's another one. Jake Brenningstool is just a touchdown magnet. And you'll see that a lot of his catches and highlights, these just acrobatic leaping catches. He is not an easy catch guy. And if I had to give an NFL pick, I would say like Jonnu Smith is probably my my NFL comp for him. Really, really talented pass catching tight end. He's not bad in the run. He needs to be refined a little bit, which you expect anything of that, but super quick, really, really great hands, really, really good at body control. Works the middle of the field well. Again, needs a little bit of refinement in the run game, but I really like Brenning Sewell, and especially value that you might get because he's anywhere from a 4th to a 6th round pick. I still think he'd be an easy plug and play for a lot of teams. I'm relatively high on him. Yeah, just, you know, Clemson doesn't do him any favors. There haven't been a lot of easy catches for Jake in his college career, and it didn't matter a lot of the times. He catch it over you, never mattered. Oh, yeah, he's an athletic freak a little bit. That's going against this year's Miami team too, I believe. But that's Jake Brenning Sewell. Like I said, I think he's people are sleeping on him a little bit. You know, if Clemson had a better team this year, I think he would be higher on a lot of draft boards. He doesn't make easy catches. He's just an athletic freak out there. He just constantly just makes every play on the field. But yeah, I'd be happy with any of these guys. So I know we're not exactly at the 40-minute mark, folks, but like I said, I'm feeling a little under the weather. So I'm going to cut this short, but we did go through all the tight ends. So to give a last-minute ranking, if I had to give you my tight ends 1 through what have you, my tight end 1 in this class is Tyler Warren. And if you see a draft guy who says it's not Tyler Warren, don't trust that draft guy because he doesn't know football. Tyler Warren, you know, if this was any other draft, would be deserving of being a top 10 pick. He's that good. My camera isn't focused. Oh, well. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. I just had to give it a little love tap. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, slap technology to get it to work. You know, we got to go back to that. You remember when we were all kids and we had those like big bulky TVs? Maybe some of you Gen Zers don't, but I'm a millennial. Any millennial or above knows those big bulky TVs that if there's any static, your dad would just come over and just slap the shit out of that thing, and all of a sudden it's working. Sometimes that's what you got to do. And it works. Just don't do it to your PS5, please. Don't break your PS5. But yeah, so tight end 1, Tyler Warren. My tight end 2 is Harold Fannin Jr. My tight end 3 is Colston Loveland. Tight end 4, easily Gunnar Helm. Tight end 5, Mason Taylor. Tight end 6, I would say, is Jake Brenning, so I'm a lot higher on him than most. And my tight end 7 would be Terrence Ferguson. And then there's an argument to be made if Ferguson should even be at 7. A guy I didn't really go into is Luke Leachy out of Iowa. I know there are a lot of guys a little bit higher on him than I am. But you could slot him in at 7 if not. But folks, that was this evening's show. If you like draft analysis, just talking about the draft or free agent acquisitions, please like, subscribe, share this content. It would mean a ton to me. It would mean a ton to Molly. Molly, any last minute words? She's just happy I called her name. She's a good dog. She's a good dog. You're a good dog. Oh, there she is. She's saying bye. Say bye, Molly. Thank you, Molly. She waved. All right, folks. So, like, subscribe, share this content. It mean a lot to us. Like I said, I do a ton of draft analysis. Go back and watch my episode on running backs. The next show I will be doing is top 5 defensive ends, day 2 and above, which should be fun because this is a really fun class for defensive end, like a really fun one. So we'll be doing the edge class next. And if you're an NFL GM and you just happen to be watching this, be a professional and take one of these guys, especially if you're Andrew Berry. Take Harold Fannin Jr., 33rd overall. Please, I'll love you forever. Kisses. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Professional Mike. This is a professional fan. You guys stay beautiful. I'm out.